Hi, my name is Henry from CivilSoft Quick Civil Series. I just want to take you through a tour of the interface of our Quick Structure 7 design software. Now that you have authorized the software, the next thing is for you to know the different aspects of the software so you can be able to use it effectively. Okay. Of course, we have file, where you can create your new project, you can open a project, you can save a project, you can save a project as, you can print, you can close project, and so on. Now, again, we have, of course, the home tab, we have the sheet layout, but the most important part of them all is the modeling, because actually in the modeling tab, that is where we do the structural modeling. As you can see, we have our panel, which you use to create your slab panels, your raft panels, and your roof panel. You get to know all this in details later. And then, of course, we have the beam, we have the column, we have the foundation, then we have action, then we have floor. Okay. Now, with the panels, of course, you can create a panel. You can create a rectangular panel, you can create spatial panels, and so on. And then with the beam, of course, you can insert a beam span, and then we have the beam properties. Same with the column, you can insert a column level, we have the column properties. Then you can also insert a path footing, and then we have the foundation properties. Then under action basically acts on the elements that you have created. Sorry, excuse me. A very good example, you can create a panel, and then from action you can create the beam span and the beam automatically. Okay, so that is it about modeling. But actually in the software, this being a structural software, the modeling tab is one of the most important places you need to deal with. Okay, then of course we have check modeling that enable you to check the model to make sure everything is in order. Then of course we have the floor. Inside the floor, you can create a new floor, you can delete a floor, then you can copy floor. Okay, it's always easier to copy a floor and edit. Okay, you can also copy multiple, and then we have the floor properties. Okay, now the next tab I will take your mind to is the design tab, because this is where all the structural loading, analysis, and design are done. Simply what we used to call the LAD. Okay, it's all about just in a single click, the software can load the entire structure from roof down to the foundation, and then analyze structure also can analyze the entire structure, and then design structure will do all necessary design and do all your design checks. Okay, the next tab that you will find very interesting again is the detailing tab. In the detailing tab is where all your detailing is done. There, in a click, you can generate the floor general arrangement, the roof beam arrangement, the foundation layout. You can do your slab details. You can see we have the floor slab details, we have the raft slab details, and then you can also do the beam details. We have the beam details, we have the raft beam detailing, we have the roof beam details. Then of course we have the column details, and then we have the path foundation details. Then after that we have the quantities. Now in the quantities you can easily create bar bending shadow, plus the concrete volume for some elements that you have already detailed. Once an element is already detailed, automatically you can create the bar bending shadow for it just in a click. Okay, and then the same with the foundation bar bending shadow. Okay, then after that we have view. The view is very, very important, because in the software you can actually rotate between different views. Okay, for your structural modeling we have the floor view. The floor view is where you do all your modeling. You can create your panels, the beams, and all the rest. They all play out in the floor view. Now, of course, in the floor view, you can see you can have collection of floors, where you can have the ground floor, the first floor, the second floor, the third floor, and so on. You can all navigate through them in this place. okay, as you navigate the floors and the changes from one floor to the other. Okay, that all plays out in the floor view. And of course, another thing you need to know in the view, you have the column map. In the column map, the software shows you the column map is of all the columns in the building. Okay, they are all represented in the column map. Of course, the column map, you get some other additional information like the ASIA load, and then and so many other things that have to do with the column. The same time, we have the foundation map, and then again we have the 3D view. Once you click on the 3D view, automatically the software turns your model into a 3D. It's just that straightforward. Then we have the sketchpad. In the sketchpad view is where you do some other design some other elements that you can just model, like as you will see very soon, you know, the way you can model your floors. In the sketchpad, you can easily sketch a single beam. Sketching the loadings, you can see I can sketch the span of the beam, I can sketch in the point load, I can sketch in distributed load, I can of course put colored bar, and then I can analyze and design the beam. I can detail the beam. Okay, all this you can do in the sketchpad. And of course, I can sketch my staircase. Now, actually, the sketchpad are meant for items that are just one-off item, you know, that you might not necessarily you know, model the way you model the entire floor, as you will see later. Okay, all this plays out in the sketchpad view, in the sketchpad tab, but that's, you access that once you click on the sketchpad view, just to tell the software that you now want to work in the sketchpad. Okay, and then of course the drawing scale, with this you can always make the drawing bigger or smaller. And then of course here you can remove orthogonal. If you want to draw inclined line, of course you can, you know, uncheck some of other things that you might find deemed necessary. Okay, then the next of course is the structural steel. In the steel structure, this is where you model your roof trusses, put in the loadings and analyze it. Okay, and I've earlier talked about the sketchpad. The sketchpad are things where you do a one-off stuff. Okay, like sketch a staircase, the software will detail it and so on. We'll get to that much more later. And of course we have the tool tab, and then in the tool you actually basically deal with the grid lines and so on. Then we have modify. Now in the modify, you can actually do your column alignment, foundation alignment, and then you can match some properties of some of the elements. Okay, and then that's basically all I would like you to know about the interface. But let me go back to the modeling tab. I said earlier, in the modeling tab is where you do the structural modeling. This is where you can create panels that form the floor, and then this is where you can create the beams. You can create your beam layout, and of course you can also create the columns. They all play out in the modeling view and under the modeling tab. Okay, again, I also want you to understand some of the stuff we have towards the bottom part of the tab of the window. Okay, with this you navigate the floors, you know, and then of course here you have the current floor level. In the current floor level, you know, basically you specify, like you can see by default is 0. I mean 0, meaning that like the ground floor is laid out at 0 level. Okay, then after that, I mean, if you have a basement, of course you can change the starting level to be, say, -3150, showing that your basement floor started at -3150. Okay, and then of course we have the next new floor height. Okay, which tells you the height of the next floor that is yet to be created. Okay, there you can control. If you want the height of the floor to be 4 meters, you can make it 4 meters and the software will work with it. Okay, then apart from that, we also have the default for the current floor that you are working on. When you bring it up, you can actually set the default for all aspects of the software. We have the breadth of the beam, the column height, the column length, the column width, the depth of the beam, the depth of the panel. This is where you can also set your imposed load. As you can see, you can set the height of the wall, you can set the density of concrete, you can set so many things that you can actually control from the default. It's also advisable that before you start modeling, it is very, very good you go through the defaults, set the default to what you are used to, okay, so that the software will work with your default. Okay, after setting the default, just apply changes so that the software will work with it. Fine. So this is the basic things you need to know about the interface and how to get started with the software. Okay, let me also repeat. It's also good as I said earlier, the modeling tab is where all your structural modeling is done. Okay, and then of course we have the basic drawing tool. The basic drawing tool is basically for you to draw your line. These are non-structural elements. You want to draw a line, a rectangle, a circle, a semicircle, and all the rest. They are all done inside basic drawing tool. And then in the sheet layout, it's basically where you create your title block. Okay, and then prepare your work for printing. And then basically, actually to do the printing, you might have to go back and click on the print view. Okay, fine. Talking about the print view, it's also good like if you want to do a drawing, all your drawings are actually done in the drawing view. A very good example, assuming if you come to detailing and you detail a beam detail, the software always take them to drawing view. So if you're looking for all your details, please note that they are all in drawing view. All you need to do is to click on view and then click on drawing view. Once you click on drawing view, you can use the button below to navigate the drawings to look for which drawing you are looking for. But as I said earlier, if you are doing your modeling, all your models, all your floor beam layout are all in the floor view. That is where you have your panels and all. You will see that in details later. Okay, and again, the title block view is where you have your title block. You can edit the information title block, and then you can go on from there. Okay, so that is it about the view. Then, as I said earlier, to make your structural modeling, they all play out under modeling. You will see this in details very, very soon. Basically, the tabs to remember: you have the modeling, you have the design, you have the detailing, because that is the one that is catchy and that is where you want to play with. Okay, you want to make your model, you want to design it, you want to detail it. Okay, so we'll see more of this in details in our next lesson. Thank you.